Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode.
Well, we're now on Thursday, and I can't remember if I last talked to the business banker or the business lender on Friday. On Friday or on Monday. But man, like it feels like I'm waiting, like for my wife to go on. Like my wife is in labor, and like we're waiting for the baby to be born. I was always present for all of our kids being born, but like every hour, like I'm double checking email. I'm making sure like are things looking good? Are they coming along? The broker and the banker, talk. They got the last thing over and getting it all sent over. And I'm realizing it's hard to be patient. We're now June, July, August. We're like almost 3 months into the deal, and I'm really antsy. I'm not gonna lie, like. I want to know like if this is going to happen, if this is going to go through. And I know this is part of the SBA process. They have a huge checklist. They have so many things they need to do. And it's just part of the process. But I'm just antsy. Like I'm really ready for the next step. I saw like on CNBC, like some company bought another bank or whatever, or some bank bought another bank, or there's like another merger that's going on that's going to get approved. And like I'm now shocked when I see these multi-billion-dollar or million-dollar acquisitions happen, and they take like 6 months or a year. Like that is insanely fast. Like it's taken 3 months for me to buy two businesses that are under $100 million or under $1 million in sales. Like these are companies that are doing like 100 million or like $1 billion in sales. They don't use QuickBooks. They use ERPs. They have hundreds of people on payroll. They're in multiple countries. They're in all over the United States. They have 50 states worth of commerce laws they've got to be following. They're multiple national companies. They deal in multiple currencies. They have different bonus and equity and employee stock options. Like things are crazy complex when you have stock options and you have cash bonuses, and your payroll, and you may have commercial leases. You may own trucks and factories and inventory that is expiring every few months. Like if you're Doritos or some like food company, like how do they get a deal that's that complex done in 6 months or even like a year? And I'm just buying a facility that sells like $3,000 a month in supplements, and they provide workout classes, and I've got 15 instructors and like 2 managers. Like I don't know how the big boys do it. Like so I have mad respect whenever I guess my scope of how the world works. I have mad respect when companies have like 10, 20, 40 people involved in a deal and they get it done in 1 year. I never would have thought this would take 3 months. I kind of laughed when the broker told me, yeah, so this will take a while. And like we started scheduling closing 2 months out. And like, how is this going to take that long? This isn't that complicated. And lo and behold, it's taking that long. And so just have patience. It's my first time getting a signed purchase agreement. It's my like 4th time getting a signed LOI. First time going through SBA underwriting, and it's just taking a long time. And so getting ducks in a row, knowing the process, it's helpful to vent to the broker because his goal is to get the transaction to close. And I don't really have that many. Actually, I don't have any friends that have done SBA loan that I know of. And so that's kind of frustrating. I wish I had a friend that I could bounce this off of, and the agitation, and I'll be there for at least 2 friends I know that are looking to buy businesses, and we'll get an SBA loan. I'll be that shoulder for them to cry on. Or just be patient. Give people the time, the thing to do. It's tempting every day to like text the broker or the banker, be like, hey, where are we at? How's it cooking? Anything I can do? Just check it in. Wanted to loop back around, like all these buzzwords that you hate people giving you, but like you find yourself wanting to do for them, and just give it a week. Give it a week. If you don't hear anything back, follow up after a week. Like, hey, anything more that I can do? been a little while, want to do my part in moving this along. And just being available, but not annoying, because I can see how it could be annoying if I satisfied that itch to know how everything's coming along like day by day. So yeah, bonus checks have come through. I've transferred some funds. I've got more than enough for the equity injection for both businesses. And so I was just waiting. So the banker's giving me a high hopes and high confidence, not promising anything, obviously. We're still asking the seller to carry, what is it, a 15? The banker wants to go like to 20% that the seller carries. My hunch is that the seller will carry like 15 to 20%. But at the end of the day, if the deal falls through because of financing, it will be up to the seller as to meeting what the banker is requiring. I've got decent cash available for equity injection, but I also need to have some of that available for day-to-day operating expenses. Because the one quirk with this franchise, I think I mentioned it before, whenever a member signs up, they pay 1 month of membership the day they sign up. So if they sign up on like the 12th of the month, every month they're paying on the 12th. And it's not the first of the month. Everyone pays their dues, like Anytime Fitness or like your landlord does. Or at least I think Anytime Fitness does that. I'm just throwing them out there just as a random company name. But so you have random revenue. You have like random revenue per day, but like your commercial lease payment is the same day of every month. Your franchise fees are due within the first 7 days of the month. And so your expenses are pretty well fixed, like the first and the checkpoint days of the month. But your revenue like trickles in throughout. And so you have to be good at managing your monthly cash flow cycle so that you don't see like, I have 40 grand in the bank. What can I go spend it on? Well, and you have to budget like of the 40 grand, you can put 30 grand into ads, put it aside for payroll. You have to do your quarterly taxes. You have your insurance payment. That might be annual, quarterly, or monthly. You may have your vehicle payment, your phone, your software, your device payments. You may have to budget for replacing some of your gear. And so where was I going with all that? So just figuring out the monthly cash flow cycle, being patient in this whole process, just waiting for the next step. So I'm optimistic we'll get to the closing table. Tonight's the day 2 of instructor training. Really looking forward to that and just seeing what the instructors go through to lead classes and to have a successful club. So I feel like I'm watching paint dry. But I'm also, right now I'm in that phase of life where I'm still kind of, not a nobody, but like I'm still under the radar. And the staff don't know who I am. The members don't know who I am. My family and my like 2 friends and my family knows buying the business, but like I'm still like a nobody. Like I'm an average Joe, but I'm a successful average Joe. People like know that we own a house. We have 3 kids. Everyone knows that daycare is expensive, and so they know like we're paying $5 grand a month for daycare. You know, it's not cheap. Like no, it's not. So we're doing something to afford a house and daycare for 3 kids. But like no one's asking us for money. No one's like giving us gifts. No one's trying to like buy me lunch at a steakhouse. Yeah, like that has stuff like that hasn't happened. And so as much as I'm antsy to get to the next step on like buy a business, transition off my W-2, what will that transition out look like? What will my transition in look like? Like I'm also in that phase of life where I know I haven't gotten to that point of complexity. And I'm wanting to enjoy the moment of simplicity that I'm currently in, because that's great. And it's really easy. It's nice. I don't realize like how crazy my world's about to get once the bank approves it. Assuming they approve it, I don't know. It's not a guarantee. Just patience and, well, there's that one phrase, always like, we are living in the best days. And like, when you think back to high school, maybe high school, I don't know. I like high school, but I have really fond memories of my like squad of 10 friends, and those are great memories. Memories of college were a little bit rougher. It was mostly like working like a maniac, and also taking classes. But like in hindsight, those are really fun days because every day was purposeful, structured, not a lot of wiggle room for slacking around. No, I really enjoyed those days. And a couple of years my wife and I were married without kids. We're actually like really fond memories in our tiny apartment. Living on our like cheap little Honda Accord, being able to just like go get tacos and like a margarita, and we didn't have to do anything. We just hopped in the car and drove off, had a date, and then just came home, and it was great. And so now that we've got kids, now that we don't own a business yet, life is still pretty simple. Now it's chaotic with kids, but like trying to find the peace, man. Just enjoying the moment, enjoying the simplicity. We're just going to get more crazy with setting our kids up for success, setting ourselves up for success, setting our employees up for success, taking out a lot of promises and commitments to lenders, to members, and just enjoying the chillness and like resting in that peace. Something I'm working through right now. So nothing too crazy on the business. Instructor training tonight. Current thoughts is to enjoy today and enjoy the moment, because there's nothing really I can do right now. Now I'm just to wait to hear what other people have to say, and I can't push anymore on that. All I can really do is give the best app I can, wait for the feedback. Meanwhile, I'll put my time and energy into my day job, be a good dad, and let that other thing, like the business or the bank decision, just come in when it does. I'm sorry, guys. If you listen to this whole episode, I need to get better at being quick to the point. I want to get it all out there because I've got one shot at being a pre-business owner, and I want to document thoughts and learnings along the way, because I'm not the only one going through this. Hopefully you are too, and hopefully I'm there rooting for you and helping you along the way. Check in later.
This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.